Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. So today we are back at Mazda of Fort Myers and we're going to be taking a look at the 2026 Mazda CX-50. So let's go take a look at it and see what's new for 2026. So one of the first things that you're going to notice new for 2026 is that in the front, you're going to notice that you have those little dots right there. These are parking sensors and that's new for 2026 for the preferred models and up. Now, any other models under the preferred, which is only one, the 2.5S, would not have that. But that's pretty awesome that they include that. And also, in typical Mazda fashion, you have the sunroof, the panoramic sunroof that is standard on all the models that are preferred and up. So that's pretty awesome. And then you have the keyless entry, which is awesome as well. Cars are running, so you won't see much. You have your blind spot detection, of course, and that is pretty standard. That is not new, but just these are the basic things that you would get on any other car. So all your safety is right there. You have your blind spot detection, rear cross traffic alert, and things like that. And you also have your adaptive cruise control, which is awesome, pretty cool. And another thing is apparently this comes built in with Alexa now. So as long as you have an Amazon account, you can link it to this and have your Alexa working in this car, which is interesting. So that's cool. You have nice soft touch material here. Over here is not really soft touch, it's some plasticky kind of material, but it's livable with. And same thing on the doors. On this side you have the soft touch there. And then new for 2026 as well, on certain trim levels you have the white interior, which let me get out of the car and show you what that looks like. So a lot of the newer models, well, not a lot of the newer models, this is something that's new for 2026. You can get the white interior or two-tone interior, white and black, and the middle is some sort of synthetic cloth-like material, and then you have leather on the outside, which is awesome. And you have a 10-way power adjustable seat, which is pretty standard for anything preferred and up. And here's what you have in the back. Decent amount of leg room. So I'm 5'6", 5'7", 5'7" on a good day, and I have pretty good amount of room here. And so I don't think anybody who's going to be sitting back here is going to be cramped unless they're really tall. Then yeah, you might have some issues. AC vents pretty strong. You have the two USB ports right there, which is awesome. And you also have a armrest and two cup holders and some storage area in the doors as well, which is pretty nice. So overall, not bad. And the beautiful moonroof, which is again awesome that Mazda offers that pretty standard on all of their cars. So that's pretty good. Going back to the front, I'm gonna go over a few things that you have here. This is the preferred trim level, so we're gonna be missing a few things. As you can notice here, there's a few empty spots here. If you were looking at one of the higher trim levels like a premium or up, you would have the memory seats down here, I believe. And up here on the Premium Plus, when you have the 360 camera, you would have the camera button here so you can bring up your 360 camera. Speaking of camera, let's see what the backup camera looks like on this one. The typical Mazda backup camera where you have what are these called? Can't really pick it up on the camera, but it's fine. Basically whatever this is called, I can't remember. Those lines here, guiding lines, they don't turn with the car, with the steering wheel, but they're just there. That's pretty standard for Mazda. You only get that if you're looking at the Premium Plus or up. Premium Plus, I mean, when you have the 360 camera. And then you have your digital and analog display right here for your gauge cluster. You have the rev, tells you what your rev is, and then in the middle you have this speedometer. You can have it look like this. You have a few options to choose from, I believe. Let's see, yeah, there you go. You have a few options to choose from. I would just leave it at here. That's one of my favorites. Now this one is not equipped with this, but you could also get it with heads-up display. Again, you have to go with a premium or something like that in order to get that, but no biggie. And then awesome, I love having that. You have your actual buttons for your climate control. A lot of cars nowadays, it's a touch, haptic, or you have to go into the screen, but this, you still get the buttons. Please, Mazda, do not do away with this. I hope you really don't do away with this, because that's something I personally like. Heated seats, 3 stages for the driver and passenger. Now, what I'm not seeing any heated steering wheel on this. Again, this is the preferred model, but I know it is available in the higher trim levels. And then you have the Mazda Intelligent Driving. I don't know if that's what it really stands for, but it's MI Drive. I'm just gonna say Mazda Intelligent Driving. So you can switch between sports mode, normal, and off-road. So these are three driving modes in this. And auto hold, which won't work if you don't have your seat belt attached, which I don't yet. Your electronic parking brake, and then to take it off you have to have your foot on the brake and push it down. Volume control, start button. This is how you're gonna navigate through this screen. Now, if you are using your iPhone or something or Android, you do have wireless CarPlay or Android Auto, so you won't have to worry about anything like that. So that's pretty good. And over here, your armrest, they're separated, which is awesome. So if your passenger needs to get something out of here, they can do it without bothering you. And same thing, if you need to get something out of there, you can do it without bothering them. Also, I found out this is standard on all the new models. You have the wireless charger now, which is kind of hidden whenever this is connected. Whenever this is closed, you can't really see it. But when it's open, you do see it right here. 2 USB-Cs in there. Not a lot of storage, but it's okay. It's livable with. And of course, right here you have your owner's manual in there and all that stuff. And over here on the door, you have your controls, child lock for the windows. Pretty self-explanatory, pretty easy. Overall, this is a pretty good car in my opinion. Here, the controls for your sunroof. Again, I love the sunroof. A lot of cars you have to pay extra to get that, but with this one they included it in all the models, preferreds and up. So that's a pretty good deal. Pretty good deal on Mazda's side. So I'm happy about that. Now let's go for a quick drive. I don't have a lot of time left. So let's see how this rides. I've driven it before. I did record a video, but there was some issues with the footage, so I had to redo it. But the gist of it, this car is a nice driving car, very sporty. So now let's go on this ride, and so we can talk a little bit more about it. Turning on my auto hold, which is one of my favorite features in this thing. So let us go for a ride, guys. I want to say thank you for watching. If you're clicking on this video, if you're thinking about buying this car, I hope the information that I have in this will help you make a decision. And if it does, please leave a comment down below. Let me know what your thoughts are on the 2026. First thoughts, this is a stiff ride. However, it's not in a bad way. I quite like it because I like sportier cars. I love luxury, but I prefer sportier cars. Simply, that's just what I like. So to some people, this might be a little too stiff. To me, it's not. This is perfect. It's stiff enough and comfortable enough. Cabin is quiet. The seats are nice. You have nice material throughout. It's obviously not the premium, so it's not gonna be super fancy. There's not gonna be all this nice stuff like, you know, little things here and there, but it's good enough. It's good enough. Yeah, you're definitely gonna feel the road with this car. And the steering wheel is nice and tight. Let's test this in sports mode. Yeah, in sports mode, you can feel the car tighten up a little bit. It's a little bit more responsive. The steering wheel is a little bit more precise. Which the steering wheel was already pretty good. It was already precise. Not saying that it wasn't precise before, but you feel the car is coming to life a little bit more. It was already alive, but it's coming to life a little bit more. This is a kind of car that gives you confidence, which can be a good and a bad thing. The reason why it can be a bad thing, in my opinion, is that if you have somebody who's a new driver who doesn't really know how to handle something, they might get a little overconfident and think that they can do something they clearly should not do or can't do. So that is in the way where it might be a bad thing, but as far as it's a good thing, it's just, you can trust the car. You know it's gonna do what you want it to do. Can't really do much in this road or any road around here, but let's just not slow down for this turn. Feels pretty good. You also have your safety features such as lane departure warning system, which was just activated not too long ago because I was right on the line and it nudged me gently back in the middle of the lane. So that's pretty nice. It's not very invasive, so that's one thing I like about it. It's very gentle. I've driven a few cars where it's like it's trying to yank the steering wheel out of your hands. This definitely did not feel like that, so that's a plus in my book. I do really like the way this thing drives. I would say this, which I've already said it. It's a sporty car. This is again so we're looking at the preferred. So if you don't know much about Mazda, they have a few different trim levels. They have their base model, which nobody should get, honestly. Again, personal opinion, nobody should ever get the base model because it doesn't cost you much to go from the base model to the preferred. The preferred, in my opinion, is the sweet spot when you're looking at any Mazda. If you're looking at the CX-5, the CX-50, the CX-70, the CX-90, anything you'd be looking at, the preferred is always going to be the sweet spot because it doesn't have too much to drive the price up way high, and it also has enough technology for you to be happy about what you're getting. For instance, power driver seat, which is a plus. I mean, you have to, maybe you don't have to have power driver seat, but it's, why wouldn't you, right? Why wouldn't you get it? And the moonroof, yeah, why wouldn't you get it? It's not that much more expensive than the base model. And the nicer seats. So yeah, there's so much about it, in my opinion, that makes it gives you a more premium feel of the vehicle, a more premium experience without having to spend a premium dollar. So that is why I believe the preferred is one of the best options for somebody who's looking at buying a CX-50, if not the best option. Personally, I need something that's a little faster, so I wouldn't go with a preferred. I would go with something turbo, like a premium turbo or a base turbo, or preferably the premium plus turbo. But if money doesn't allow it, I would still be fine with a turbo, any turbo in this car. Otherwise, I wouldn't be happy with it. But for anybody else who doesn't care about speed, and you just want something that's nice to drive, that's comfortable to drive, then yeah, this is the car. Now, talking about cons, again, I remember at the beginning I mentioned how I like the way this drives. I like it, you might not. So if you care about something being cushy, comfortable, and that is not very, like, you don't really feel the road in, this is not the car for you. And that is not in any way saying that the Mazda is not a great car. I just want you to understand that if you're looking for something that's more comfortable, or you care about super comfort, not that this is not comfortable, but if you want something that is super comfortable, that you're gonna drive for hours and not really worry about it, or if you have a bad back, for some people this might not be the car because you feel everything in the road, and not in a bad way. This is in a very sporty way, like fun type of way. But if you're looking for something more comfortable, maybe a CX-5 would be better, because the CX-5 is not tuned the same way. The suspension isn't tuned the same way. It's softer, more forgiving, and so is the CX-70 if you need something bigger. for the CX-90 if you want to go that route, or maybe something that is not a Mazda if you choose to go something with a different brand. Because not like, for instance, the Toyotas don't, in my opinion, in my past experience, I haven't had a chance to look at the newer models yet, but in my past experience with Toyotas, Hondas, and everything else out there, they're very, very soft. And to me, not in a good way. You can have something that's soft and comfortable, but you can have something that totally just doesn't feel very confident. And that's the experience I've had with the Toyotas I've driven in the past and things like that. So I wouldn't go that route. I would just stick with Mazda or something like maybe BMW. But if you're not looking for to spend that kind of money, definitely stick with Mazda. Oh, we're talking about cons. Another con, technology. So I love the little dial that you have going on down here in Mazda. Like, I don't know that Mazda's ever gonna watch this, but I love the little dial thing you have going on down there. However, the technology needs to do better. The screen, I mean, it's great that it's such a big screen, but you can't really do much with it. When you're driving, you can't, it's not touchscreen, whether you're on Apple CarPlay or not. When you are not on Apple CarPlay, it is definitely not touchscreen, so that's annoying. Even though this is very intuitive, like very easy to use, but it just feels so out of date. I mean, this looks more like something that would work for early 2020s, like 2021, 2022, but we're in 2025, about to be in 2026. So I don't think this is up to par with current standard. I mean, Toyota's doing better with their technology. You have Honda's doing better. Before, Mazda was better than both of these brands, but those brands have caught up, and they've, in my opinion, with some of their models, they've even left Mazda behind. So technology-wise, I'm not even going to mention Hyundai and Kia, because those guys, they don't play when it comes to technology. That's all it is. You just get a bunch of technology packed in a car. They pack as much technology as they can, in my opinion, which can be good, but it also can be bad, but that's besides the point. Technology-wise, I think Mazda could be doing a lot better. So if you care very much about it, then you might want to consider other options, because currently Mazda doesn't have any models, in my opinion, doesn't have any models that are going to be very out there with a lot of technology. It's got all the safety features you need. That's great. So you don't have to worry about safety, anything like that. All the safety features you could possibly need, and Mazdas have some of the highest ratings when it comes to crash safety. So don't have to worry about that. One of the safest cars on the road, in my opinion. And not just my opinion, but also according to a lot of other people like JD Power, like all those car people who are supposed to let you know what's good to buy or what's not good to buy or whatever. They rate Mazda pretty high, which I used to work for Mazda, so I've had plenty of customers in the past who got into accidents in the CX-5s and just literally walked out, where the car was basically unrecognizable, but they still were able to just walk out of it. So yeah, Mazda is, in my book, Mazda is one of the safest cars on the road. So there's that. However, technology-wise, anything else besides safety, it's lacking. So do better there, Mazda. Otherwise, great car. So this is my little rant about what I think of this car. Driving it, great. Unless you need something that's smoother, then maybe not. Drive one for yourself and see if you can take this for a 5-hour road trip and not have any back pain. I could do that. Doesn't mean you could. So again, it's entirely up to you and how you feel. We're almost back at the dealership, and once we get there, we're gonna take a look at a few other things like the trunk and see how much cargo space there is back there, etc. Okay, we're still in sports mode, by the way, so not too shabby for this thing. It's like 189 horsepower, something like that. It's not a lot, but it's not terrible. Car has good torque, very responsive. Not enough for some people, so you might want to look at the turbo, because the turbo, in my opinion, is just perfect. Perfect weight, perfect speed, perfect everything when you're looking at one of the turbo in these. And yeah, I mean, it's basically just that. It is dark. It is getting dark. We are back at the dealership. So we're gonna park, and then we're gonna go over what my final thoughts on this are, and we will go from there. All right, first let's go outside and talk a little bit more about this. So we're back at Mazda Fort Myers, and we are going to go over a few last things regarding the 2026 CX-50, and we're running out of daylight, so we're going to try and make it quick. So first thing, let's go take a look at the back, right? So back here, and it's kind of a good thing that it's a little bit darker. You can see what your tail lights would look like. Looks really nice, gives it a really nice aggressive stance. And one of the cool things about the CX-50 is that this is meant to attract a specific crowd of people. So people would like to go camping and stuff like that. So you'd be happy to know that the chassis has been beefed up to be able to accommodate a roof tent. So you could go camping and have a roof tent installed and just, sleep up there. So that's pretty nice. Now, as far as cargo space goes, I believe you have about 30 something, like 36 roughly. Don't quote me on that. I'll put the real number on the screen. Again, it's getting a little dark in here. So 30, like roughly 36 cubic feet of space down here. And what else? I believe if you have the seats down, you'll be looking at 56 or something like that, which all the seats can go down. The front seats are in the way right now, but let's move on. So this is what it looks like with the seats folded. Again, we have a lot of stuff back here right now, so that's why there's things in the way, but it's a decent amount of room. For some people it might not be enough, but this is a good amount for most people. And you have all the mats, all the goodies that you get with this car in here, so they're in the way, but this gives you a clearer view. It's flat enough. Let's see if it's actually flush. I don't know if you can see this, but this is practically flush over here. It is at a slant, but it's practically flush with the seats once you fold them down. And I know that's very important to a lot of people, because I've had a lot of people say they're not gonna buy a car simply for that reason. So that's understandable. Now let's close this. Let's go around. And here's what your headlights look like. Very nice, very aggressive. And you have your turning signals down there. So if you're looking at one of the higher trim levels, like a premium or something like that, you will end up having the adaptive headlights, which is great in these cars. And also, one of the really cool things that is also new for this year is that you have the base turbo that was added. So for 2026, they created a new trim level, which is the base turbo. So you don't have to go to the premium or anything like that in order to have the turbo engine. That is one thing. The other thing is you can get the same nice light interior completely in leather, so just full white leather seats. If you're looking at the turbos, like the turbo premium and the turbo premium plus, you can get the full leather, which is awesome. And I don't know if you see this little blinking light here, that's for your wireless charger. Just a little side note here, a lot of people might not know this, but if you have any doors open, and that's most manufacturers, not everyone, I don't think it's everyone, but most manufacturers, if you have your doors open, your wireless charger won't work. So if you just picked up one of these and you're wondering why your wireless charger English isn't working today, if you just picked up one of these and you're wondering why your wireless charging pad isn't working, maybe your door is open. So just make sure you close your doors before you start trying to charge with your wireless charging pad. So this concludes our review today for the 2026 Mazda CX-50, and thanks to Mazda of Fort Myers again for letting us take a look at this car today. If you have any questions about it, feel free to leave a comment down below, and please like, subscribe, and follow for more. If you guys want to see me review a few more cars, or if you have any specific cars you want me to review, leave that down in the comments. Let me know what you'd like to see me review next, or what you'd like me to review next from Mazda of Fort Myers. And if you're looking for a car, make sure you go check them out, MazdaFortMyers.com, and they'll take care of you right here in Southwest Florida. Have a good day, guys. See ya.